Okay, real fast story while I'm at a stoplight. Take a minute, look around. If there's anybody that seems like they're having trouble or that's out of the ordinary, just watch them for a minute, see if maybe you could help them out. I was in that situation in August. It was my daughter's birthday. We just ate at Texas Roadhouse, which, by the way, they're amazing. Love their honey butter rolls. Anyway, and we went to the Walmart because she had a headache. Well, we had just gotten out of the Walmart, got back in our car, and I noticed over to the right of me there was a gentleman, and he was having a lot of trouble getting his car in park. And I was like, hold on, we're just going to watch him for a second. He got out, fell back down into the car. I'll be careful, I promise. Fell back down into the car and kept trying to put it in park and put it in park. I'm like, I'm going to go see if I can help him. And I got out of the car and I walked over to him and I'm like, is everything okay? And he said, yep, I just can't get it in park. I noticed he was a little bit shaky and he was slurring his speech a little bit. So I'm thinking, great, the guy's probably drunk, you know. And so I reach in, I was like, here, let me see if I can help. And he kind of sat back, so I reached in and I put the key in park. Or I put the key and turned it all the way off. It wasn't all the way off. And I reached up, put it in park, took the key out, and handed it to him. It's like, there you go. And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, thank you so much. He gets out of the car, and he's real shaky. And I'm like, are you going into Walmart? He said, yep. I said, okay, well, let me walk you in there. I'll just walk by you. And he's like, okay. And he was an elderly gentleman. See, I'm about 5'10 and a half. He was about 6'2". But he was real skinny, so I was like, I didn't think I had any trouble. And there for a little while, the first few steps, not that big of a deal, and then he just kind of started putting all of his weight on me. And by this time, my 15-year-old daughter Sarah and her best friend Samantha were out of the car, and they were following us in. And I got him into the store, I put him in one of those wheelchairs, and I just kind of looked at him. I was like, are you okay? Yep. It's like, are you sure you're okay? Yep. Do you know what your name is? Yep. You want to tell me what your name is? Yep. And then he just looked at me. Like, okay, this is really weird. So I was actually debating whether or not to turn around and walk away or to go get a manager. And Sarah and Samantha were like, you can't leave him like that, Mom. Go get somebody and let him know in case he's drunk or he could hurt himself. About this time, I turn around and he's trying to put the wheelchair in reverse. He's looking backwards and he's driving forward into the wall. And I'm like, oh, crap. And so I run and I find a manager, and the manager comes over to him and she's like, would you mind going and getting the pharmacist and telling the pharmacist that I need her? And the pharmacist comes out, and the pharmacist, I think, recognizes the gentleman, and she asked him if he was diabetic, and he said, yep. And she looked his name up. Sure enough, he was diabetic. Well, he was starting to go into a diabetic shock, some sort of diabetic seizure thing, and they ended up having to call the hospital, and they took him away. But here's the thing. If I would have just gone on about my business... Hold on, there's two cops over here. I'm always trying to catch people at that stop right there. Whatever. Anyway, if I would have gone on about my business, that gentleman would have just died in his car. He would have died. So, I beg you. I mean, that was somebody's father, somebody's grandpa, somebody's brother. Just take a second, look around. You never know when you might be able to help somebody. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.